Question 8, which polynomial has the following zeros with multiplicities as shown? So x equals -2, multiplicity of 2. What that means is if that's a 0, then the factor is going to be x plus 2. And because it has a multiplicity of 2, we call that a double root. It's going to have an exponent of 2. So x plus 2 to the second power. If your 0 is x equals 3, then you're going to have x minus 3. It's always the opposite of the 0. And the multiplicity of 1 means it's 1. We don't need that 1 there. And the same thing with the 4, x minus 4, multiplicity of 1. So what you're really writing out is the following. X plus 2 squared, and then x minus 3, and x minus 4. Let's verify that we have that built correctly, and then we can multiply together. So if we have x plus 2, we're going to raise that to the second power, and you can see here that it gives you a -2 for a 0, and that's a double root, so we're good on that. After the x plus 2 squared, you're going to type x minus 3. You can see now that it crosses that positive 3. And then after the x minus 3, you're going to type x minus 4. And now we have the complete picture, where it's got a double root at -2, followed by 3 and 4. Now, if you don't want to multiply all those out, you're going to have to go into your answer choices and find the one that gives you that same graph. So you can do that by typing all those in. You can say x to the third power minus 5x squared minus 2x plus 24. And if you look at it, it crosses at the same graph, same zeros, but the problem is that this one here, it doesn't have multiplicities other than 1. It doesn't have a max or min at that x-axis. So while those give you the correct zeros, it's not the correct graph. We can go through the other ones. X cubed plus 5x squared minus 2x plus 24 minus 24. And that gives you the wrong zeros, -4, -3, and +2. So that's not going to be your answer. Let me hide that. We'll hide that as well. Let's go to the third one, x to the fourth minus 3x cubed minus 12x squared plus 20x plus 48. And as you can see, that lines up exactly with this graph here. So we know that those two graphs would be identical. So, you know, if you don't know how to multiply those together to get that, you can use your answer choices to come to that same conclusion. I'm going to go ahead and multiply them out so you can see that how that works. What I'm going to do in this case is multiply the x plus 2 times itself, and then the x minus 3 times x minus 4. Then I'm going to put it all together in one box and multiply them. So we'll start with the x plus 2's. That's going to give you x squared plus 2x plus another 2x plus 4. So that's going to give you x squared plus 4x plus 4. There's shortcuts too on that one if you need to. The other one, I'm going to do x squared minus 4x minus 3x. -3 times -4 is 12, so plus 12, which is going to give you x squared minus 7x plus 12. And then we're going to multiply those together and definitely utilize a box on that. So we'll just do a big old 3x3 box and see if we can do that correct multiplication. Be very careful with your terms. So we'll do x squared, -7x and 12. And then we'll do x squared, 4x and 4. Sorry about that. All right, so that's going to give you x to the fourth power. X squared times -7x is -7x cubed. 12 times x squared is 12x squared. 4x times x squared is going to be 4x cubed. 4x times -7x is -28x squared. 4x times 12 is 48x. 4 times x squared is 4x squared. 4 times -7 is -28, and then there's an x there, and then 4 times 12 is 48. So if you combine our like terms, you get x to the fourth. These two will give you -3x cubed. Those three, 12 plus 4 is 16, and then negative 28, that's actually going to be negative 12 x squared. And then we have negative 28 and 48. Looks like that's going to give you 20x, and then finally 48 at the end. So we can come to that same conclusion without a graph. However, you can probably agree that the graph is going to be a little bit more time friendly.